Here we go. So, if you could have a look at question 5. Looks innocuous enough. Who did that one? Oh, they did do it. All right, fair enough. Oh, well, we won't ruin the surprise then. So, could you tell us what you were doing? So that's what we were thinking. Some people started, we went P, and so PQ, you went -4 and then up to 1 and so on. You sketched it out, but you're going, this is ridiculous. Why would we do that? So, not that it's ridiculous. At least you did it and you got the answer. So that is fantastic rather than leaving it blank. But it goes back to that whole vector addition stuff. So Das, having a look, they want SP. SPC, baked beans and spaghetti. 100 little human beings. Hungry. So, if I ask you to go, all right, I want SP, that means I have to start with S. G, you keep talking while I am, it's not going to end well for you. So, where are we going to start with? Right, we haven't got, I'm going to ignore that for now, but would you agree it's going to be SR plus RQ plus QP, because that then goes, yes, I can add these together because we've got the same doodads in the middle, and I've got my final SP, which is what I wanted here, correct? And so absolutely, as people were saying, I don't have SR. I've only got RS, well the opposite, not inverse, but we go, yes, that's going to be minus RS. We do have RQ, and do we have QP? Oh, we don't have QP. We have PQ, so it's going to be minus PQ. And so obviously we would then go, this will be minus 2, minus 3, etc., etc. Does that make sense? So then is either way acceptable? Absolutely. But, you know, what if I had gone 2.5 or 3 or whatever, and you might have been there a while drawing it out? But you'd still get the right answer. But, you know, this is just cruising through. I mean, you can have a go at some of these ones. But 16, as soon as you read that, what are you thinking? Beelzebub? Bells? Determine all possibilities. This and this perpendicular. That should give you a red flag. Perpendicular means what equals 0? The dot product, right? So keep in mind, if I said algebraically, I want to see that you're going that times that plus that times that equals 0. But you can use your calculator to solve your quadratic. Okay? When I say algebraically, I don't need you, in this case, if there's anything with, simultaneous equations, go your hardest with your calculator. Quadratic, you want to solve it, go your hardest with your, again, graphics calculator, yes? Is dot product the same as scalar product? Absolutely. I call it dot product because it's got the big old dot in it. It's also called scalar because the answer is a scalar, not a vector. Yes, Al? Oh, you can have the lesson. Sure. You can. You won't need the whole double. Why are you going? I don't know how long it is. I write the test. Why? I don't think it's hard because I write it. I know the answers. But, you know, you tell me. You tell me if it's, I don't know. I thought it was pleasant. I thought last year's test was pleasant. Equal footing? What was hard about last year's? Right, well, let's pick some of those. Now, can we... That's a worry. So we'll pick some of those in a moment. But can you have a look at... I think it was 13 and 14 we found amusing. We'll go 13. And then we'll go 14. And then we'll address the questions from last year's test. Hang on, used to doing all the questions from the old textbooks over and over again. It's not because I'm smart, it's just because I've done them over and over. And so sometimes you're in that same zone. So I really like this question and go, ooh. Now, for me, because I was a little bit stuck, I had to actually visualize. And we should know from our investigation that we're currently doing, -2, 4, this is the position M, and so OM is actually, would you agree? So that's OM, which is -2, 4. And then M to P, as Al was saying before, if we were to plot that, what is that making me do? It's going across 5 and then down 1. P. So what would that be if this was -2, 4? I've gone across 5, down 1. What would P be? I think I read this wrong anyway. Huh? I'm trusting you. All right. Now, MP. So here's M to P. And PT. So PT is somewhere along here because, as you guys just said, that means that MP and PT are perpendicular. Yes? Yes. And they are equal in length. But doesn't that mean that it could be, hello? PT has to be perpendicular to MP. So what is a perpendicular to this? It can be 1, 5, but could it be something else? Yes? Couldn't it be, yeah, it could be 2 and 10, but that's not going to then give us the equal distance, is it? There's another vector that it can be. Thank you. Couldn't it be -1, -5? And so this, across 1 up 5, is giving you your position T, OT here. But -1 down 5 is giving you your second position there. Oh, no? No, but I want, possibly, because you just, why is everything is about in the test? No, it can't be because I can't create one and it'll be exactly the same. But it's a great question because it's making you think about the vectors and the positions and the fact that we know that when they're dotted together it equals 0. That means they're perpendicular. And how do we find a perpendicular of a vector? You should know that. Right? So you're looking at me funny. If we have any vector AB, the perpendicular vector is going to be k lots of. Now, if you go BA, check that. You've got AB plus BA. Now, last time I checked, that's 2BA. So one of them has to be minus. Doesn't matter which one, you could go that one. You could go B minus A. Doesn't matter. Does that make sense, though? You should know how to find the perpendicular. That's part of the work. That. Have a look at 14, and then we'll look at last year's test for any questions. Okay, let's start with, you have our 2 vectors. So for me, and I don't know if it's the same for you, but when it's written like this, I go, ugh. So the first thing I would do would be U equals 2, 1. Yeah? And I'm looking at V. That's a funny looking V. I'm looking at V, and that is 0, 3. Excellent. Yada, yada, yada. I'm looking and I go, that is the thing that draws my attention. And when it's saying acute angle, the first thing that pops into my mind, and I don't know about yours, anything? Okay, less than 90 because it's acute. But all right, let's focus more on angle. Angle, vectors. right? I'm looking at my help sheet and I go angle, vectors, and the only thing that I see is this. So I write it down. I got nothing else. Who knows? And, to be honest, I just make it up as I go. If I see Alex at the top, he annoys me, I'll not give him a mark. Now, I'm looking at that, and sorry I've used the dark pink, but can we find most of that? So I can do the dot product, and I can find the length of each angle, and I go, oh, geez, if only it was sine theta instead of cos theta. Pardon? Can't you find all of that? You'd end up with cos theta equals something, let's say 0.42. Could you find theta? How? Inverse cos. So that means you've then got theta. So now can you find sine theta? So do you see, sometimes, well, if theta is 10, well then sine theta will equal sine 10. And by the way, I didn't do it that way. I got cos theta, and then I used the relationship between sine and cosine, which is, it's not 10. Wow. Anyway, I use that. You don't have to. You could do that way. Remember? I love it. There's lots of ways to do it. But the key is, looking at the question, didn't know really what to do. You go, do something that could help me. Angle. Where have I seen angle? And progress. They just asked me a question. Is this pretty much everything we need? Well, it hasn't got anything about the graphics calculator using pole and rec. It hasn't got your cosine rule and sine rule for any tangent type question. That's because I know that. I mean, I know some of this stuff. I mean, really, some of this you could get rid of. Do you need the length of a... Okay. So they're going nodding. Some of you are going no. You put what you need in there. All right? That was just a summary of actual vector stuff, not the trig. So I would say some of you might want to put that in. Okay. So there's been much criticism and scoffing of question 11 from the last year's test. So let's have a look. ABCD is a quadrilateral. Yeah. Look at it. It's even in blue, although you wouldn't see that. F, G, and H are the midpoints of the side. So F, G, and H. So, I'm looking and you've got those are the same. Yep. Find an expression for HG. HG Nelson. He's a comedian anyway. All right. So let's have a look. Where is HG? So HG is there. Agreed? So to get HG, you're either going up and around here, or you can go H to C, C to G. Yes? Or you're going bloop, 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 and away you go. So I'll get rid of that for a moment because it's hard to see the other bits. What do we know in terms of A, B, C, and D? So would we agree that HG is going to be HC plus CG? So HC is going to be, negative CA, which is negative A. Agreed? What's CG? Midpoints. So B is going that way. So that would be minus B. Agreed? got 1 mark. Okay, EF. You try EF. Okay, so EF, you're going here. How am I going to get that? Could we go, we could do the whole around bit. You could go that away. Not quite sure which one is better unless you do them both. But would we agree it's EA? Shh. And by the way, I'm not sure if this works or not. But what I'm not doing is sitting there staring at the paper, trying to do it in my head, scared that I'm going to write something down that's wrong. If I write something down that's wrong and it doesn't work, I'll just go and I'll start again. But it kills me when I watch some of you staring at your thing. Don't write it on scrap paper either. Make sure you've got enough room. If this doesn't work, cross it out, do over here, and you're not copying something and wasting time. Agreed? Thank you. Okay, now we've got a problem. What is our problem? We don't know EA, but would we agree EA is half of BA? And AF, we know, is minus C. Agreed? With me, hands? All right, our problem was BA. B to A. Would we agree that B to A is BC plus CD plus DA? Bloody hell, who made this question up? BA is going to be BC plus CD plus DA. And don't forget, I've still got my take C. So what is B to C? Minus 2A. Are we seeing where this is going? Plus CD minus 2B. And I'm thinking, gosh, I should have done this the other way. DA okay, so a half of all of that becomes minus A. I'll change to the lighter pink so you can see it nicely. Minus A, take B, plus C, take C, equals minus A, take B. Hence prove that HG and EF are parallel and equal in length. Well, doesn't this equal HG? And hence they're parallel and equal in length. I could have done a different, or I could do a different question if I ended up with this being minus 2A minus 2B. What conclusion could be drawn about the relationship between HG and EF? They're parallel, one is twice the length of the other. So they chose this one. It's from Review B. An eagle is trying to return to her nest, which is 7.4 kilometers away. Poor eagle. She needs to fly in the direction of 98 degrees, but there is a wind blowing at 48 kilometers per hour in the direction of 305. Her speed in still air is 56 kilometers per hour.